Greetings from Southwest Florida. It is October 12th. Hopefully, in your area, if you're above the equator, things are getting cooler. We're actually starting to get a little bit cooler here in Southwest Florida, which I'm very happy for. I was just out finishing up yard work, so I got my grounding in for my self-care today and some exercise. How about you? How are you doing? Are you switching it up sometimes? Are you just keeping a simple structure for yourself for your self-care? Even if you just do one thing a day, I'm happy to hear that you're taking the time for yourself. Hopefully you have a spot you can do it in when you're not being interrupted, or if you're just going out in nature and taking walks and sitting on the ground, sitting up against a tree, all good things. So if you haven't been with me before, I'm Crystal from the Crystal Center of Healing, and that is my cat Finn, who just decided to knock over my crystal tree. Cats. He usually doesn't do that though, but he's hungry, so he's over now in his cat tree. So, if you've been with me before, you know how it goes. I pick a card. It's the mantra for the week. I discuss it a little bit. Sometimes I go off track depending on what's coming through my head. I feel that it's spiritually guided when I talk about certain things. It may resonate with you, it may not. So take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else's message. So I got my cards, and then of course at the end I do a meditation based on the card, the mantra that I pull. And that's kind of my formula. So we're just shuffling. And if you follow oracle card readers, tarot readers, they always should be really shuffling it in front of you, so you know they're not just pulling cards that they want to pull to give a message. Forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It's my longtime friend from Ohio, which is where I moved from before I came down here. Let's see what Spirit has for us this week, the week of October 12th. Last week we were creating cooperation, so let's see, we got one. Oh, I've never gotten this one before. Liberating Love. Liberating Love. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I am willing to give. And I already have some thoughts on that. Let's see what the book has to say on liberating love. When love is liberated, your heart remains open to all the gifts that life has to offer. As love is liberated from the emotional wounds of the human condition, it becomes easy to accept, forgive, and receive. When such actions seem exhausting, it is simply a sign that your heart doesn't feel safe enough to remain open. When this occurs, your will's freedom to embrace each tender corner of your consciousness will allow opening up to resume. When the heart has permission to open, your love is liberated, and you can shine a light into all levels of reality to awaken the truth of all. This mantra is ideal for learning how to believe in yourself, promoting self-realization, and integrating the shadow. We all have a shadow self, or some people call it your dark side. Um, you may have insight into your shadow side, or you may not. Some people just kind of walk through life just going with the flow, not really putting a lot of work into it. They just like, this is what it is, and this is how I am, and that's the way it is. And then there's some of us that look at our shadow side and have insight to ourselves. Or you could still not have insight to yourself. I was just talking to a coworker about that, wondering if this one person that used to work in our office has any insight, but we weren't sure. It doesn't seem that way based on her behaviors, but it seemed like she didn't want to. She was a person that, this is who I am. You have to deal with me the way I am. I mean, there's a certain line to where, yeah, you need to be who you are, but in certain circumstances, sometimes you need to pull that back. Because do you really want to hurt people? I mean, with your behaviors, with the way you have a sharp tongue or whatever it is your behavior is, that's not all loving, not all love and light. But we aren't all love and light. I mean, I get that. I have my moments. But people don't necessarily deserve certain behaviors. I mean, like my early life, I was bullied. If you've been with me before, I've talked about it. And I don't really think I deserved it. Yeah, I had behavioral issues because of the way I grew up with my mentally ill mother who was not medicated. I mean, she was medicated, but she refused to take the medication. So anytime she had a schizophrenic episode, plus she had borderline personality disorder, so you couldn't really tell her anything. She was, she was hallucinating and delusional. So I had both sides of that. So I was very sensitive. Like I was afraid when I would go out into the world. I mean, I was young when she had her full break. I was 3. So I'd go out in the world being like afraid of everything and thought I was less than, that there was something wrong with me, that I was always bad. I didn't deserve that. I was a child. How, I was an innocent child. I didn't come out as the devil or anything, But as I got older, I had to realize, okay, that wasn't about me. That was the illness. It wasn't even really about my mother. Although, when she was finally I can't think of the word, a menopausal moment, as I say. When she resigned herself the fact that she needed the medication, this took years for us to convince her that she needed to take that so her behaviors were better. And it took me being an adult saying, okay, I mean, I'm an adult now. It's on me, how I behave, how I walk through life. And I've been working on myself all these years, trying different things. I've been in therapy a few times. I became an energy healer to help move some of that out. I've done all kinds of things, and I'm pretty good now these days. It's sad that it's taken me 50 years, but it is what it is as far as that goes. I keep trying. I keep learning more things. I still observe my behaviors to see if, I'm in the wrong with something. I don't think the observation that I learned as a 3-year-old will ever go away. I'm just not as hyper vigilant as I used to be. I mean, I used to just, I spent so much energy. I was tired all the time. I spent so much energy, being that way. But that leads me to liberating love, the understanding that, my heart chakra opens sometimes and it closes back up. I mean, I still go through that. Um, and learning to forgive is hard for some people. Um, and it's not about the other person, it is about you. You're holding on to that energy, that wound, that hurt of what happened to you or what was done to you. You need to release it for yourself. And I don't forget what that other person did, because you may never want to let that person back into your life because of their behaviors, because they lack the insight of what they did. Some people do have insight and will realize that they did you wrong and come back. You still have the option to choose whether you will allow them back into your life, but you need to forgive and let go. Don't carry that around anymore. It's too heavy. It does take practice, like anything. If you have certain wounds that don't belong to you, once you eliminate that, that opens up a whole nother world. I went through that. My mother imprinted a lot of things on me, and some of it was why I was still in the womb. I found out she was the biggest imprinter on me. I did have some imprints from other people in my family. My sister that I grew up with, my father, who I didn't meet till I was 11, and my grandparents, and then just other people that were in our circle. I know in the morning I can feel my heart opening up, and it feels wonderful. I feel certain people certain people I have connections with, and then I go certain places and it closes back up. As protection. I don't want to be hurt. Tired of being hurt. Frankly, tired of a lot of things at this age in my life. But if you look at certain aspects of whatever it is, like I said, if I go certain places, it closes up. Protection. But you may be able to find certain aspects that will allow you to open your heart back up and to feel safe. And you can give it permission. You could say it out loud, you can say it internally, you can do a prayer, you can do a guided meditation to help you open it up. But it's more about you feeling safe, you feeling relaxed enough to open it up, and letting go of the old wounds. Or even new ones. Because you do not have to stay in relationships, friends, family, significant others. You don't have to stay in those relationships if they're toxic, they're not healthy, they're abusive. You need to have boundaries and be assertive when people are trying to hurt you. And that takes practice too, especially somebody that's had, traumas, that have different coping mechanisms. It takes practice to be assertive. It takes practice to put up boundaries. Just keep doing it and keep reflecting on certain situations like, oh, I should have said that, I should have did this. I should have made a strict boundary with the word no. That's a lot of women have a problem with saying no, and some men. Men usually shut down. Which isn't healthy. I mean, I've had a couple friends like that, male friends, I have somebody very close to me that he does that. And for many years, he always said the same thing to me, that he was never all right with what happened when we were younger, when he was younger. We're the same age. We grew up together pretty much once he came to my school in 10th grade. And I always wished he would have gotten help every time he said that to me, because he never told me what it was, and I don't know why I never asked. I just figured that if he wanted me to know, he would tell me, because I was I was pretty open about things. But not enough, I think, for him to open up to me, which I'm very sad that I didn't do that for him. There were certain people that I would just tell everything about to, and for some reason for him I was a little more guarded, and I don't really know why, because we were very close. We were just like two people that are just like, we would stand in the hallway together and we didn't even have to talk. It was just like, it felt so natural, and he really grounded me. He still grounds me. But that's interesting. Anyway, so yes, learning how to believe in yourself, promoting self-realization, having insight, paying attention to your behaviors, what you're saying, what you're feeling, what your mind is telling you, what you're allowing your mind to say to you. A lot of the toxic stuff is all in our head, too. You know, I had so much of it when I was younger. And it was mostly in my mother's voice. But I had some in my own. So it's important for you to dig into that. Just to sit still and listen. Listen to what's going on in your head. Some people, if you get a pencil or pen, paper, and just write what you're saying, write what you're hearing down on paper, and then take a look at it and see how you're talking to yourself. It's important not to abuse yourself. The rest of the world tries to abuse us. So we don't need that in ourselves. And you might not even feel safe with yourself. It's important to figure that out and work on that. And lift all that off your shoulders and out of your mind. You'll notice how much lighter you feel when you're able to get control of your own thoughts. And then work on being assertive and have boundaries with the rest of the world. It makes it a whole lot easier, believe me, I've been through it. And you slip up every once in a while, like, darn God, why was I so stupid? It happens. You just say, no, it's a learning lesson. I learned something from this. I didn't do it right the first time. Now I know what to do. And if it happens again or comes around, then I know what to do. Simple as that. Just make it black and white. Don't put all this gray area in it. Just make it black and white. I'll do better next time. Because I know what to do. We're humans. We make mistakes. We're supposed to evolve and learn from them. That's how I feel. Just take a deep breath. I know. Because that's a lot. If you're living with heavy stuff, it's a lot. And maybe me saying the things that I'm saying, it's like, oh, Crystal, you're right. I gotta start with myself. I gotta stop beating myself up. I got to stop trying to be perfect. I am allowed to be here. I deserve to be here. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail. Think about it, reflect on it, write about it, journal about it. Find some gratitude in it. Let your heart heal. Liberate your heart. Liberate the love that you carry. Allow yourself to love. And some people get to the point that they can love a person that did them wrong, that did them harm. Maybe they have things you don't know about, and this is how they cope. So I had somebody was asking about narcissistic traits online, and I said, I didn't even say, I should have said, according to the DSM, which I have one, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. According to what she was saying, those are not narcissistic traits. And I was just telling her that. I said that is not criteria for narcissistic behavior, personality disorder. I know because I have a degree in behavioral science. I've studied case studies. I've done the work. I grew up with people with mental illness. I also worked in a residential community with adults with mental illness for 4 years. So mental health issues have been in most of my life, actually. So I just commented no. I said people with narcissistic may have those behaviors, but that's not narcissism. And then this guy I don't even know, that I'm not friends with. She's friends with him, obviously. I don't know if it's a relative. Just put the laugh emoji on my post. And I'm like, why is this guy laughing at this? I'm just stating fact. It's not fact as I know it, as I studied it. And then he starts talking about his experience with his mother. And I think I mentioned something about trauma. Narcissists can have lots of trauma. There's usually some kind of core wound there. It doesn't have to be. We're all different. We don't always fit the textbook criteria of the DSM. But he was basically talking about his mother's behaviors and how she didn't have any trauma, but she was a narcissist. He was like on and on, and I was just like, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to respond to it or not. I mean, even the person that made the post didn't even respond to it. She just put a care emoji. I didn't even do that. I thought about it. I just let it go. Because I didn't want to get in my ego about it. Because I don't know what his experiences were, except for what he mentioned. It was obvious, from what he said, it seems obvious there was something not right with his mother. I mean, can't diagnose her from what he said. I mean, she could have been bipolar, schizoaffective. I mean, she could have been a lot of things from his post. A lot of different traits there. You know, if you've ever looked at mental health disorders from the DSM perspective, there's a lot of overlap in mental health disorders. That's why they do testing. You know, they'll put through the PCL, if you have ADHD, the Connors. I mean, there's all, you know, there's a skid. I mean, there's all kinds of things. But I felt bad for the guy, but I don't know why he needed that particular attention coming off of my posts. He's obviously needs therapy of his own. I've from his reaction to me just saying something factual like those aren't narcissistic traits. Period. I even pulled out the DSM and looked at it before I even posted to make sure that I was being accurate and factual. So he needs to liberate his love. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I don't know how old he is. I don't know the man. He's obviously in a lot of pain. And the thing with dealing with certain people, you will never get an apology from them. I will never get an apology from my mother from all the things that she did to me and she allowed my stepfather to do. You have to give yourself that love and forgiveness to move on, to be healthy and not perpetrate it on the next generation. Because I have a son, and I tried very hard not to keep handing certain things down the ancestral line. And I don't really know if I was completely successful or not. My son's only 21, so he's still very, very young and trying to figure out himself. And I worry. I also worry about him getting schizophrenia. He's at that age. And it usually skips because I didn't get it. My sister didn't get it. So he would be the one, if it shows up, to get it. And I sincerely hope that doesn't happen. So I try to talk to him and see where he never calls me, He's too busy gaming and talking to his friends all around the world. But I try to check in with him to see, So far, I have no evidence that anything is going on. There hasn't been any major catalyst in his life, except for me leaving. He's still back in Ohio. He didn't want to move down with me. I offered that to him. He finally told me recently, it's too hot down there, that's why I didn't go. Like, really? That's the only reason why you didn't come move with me? Alright. So he's up there with his dad. And his grandma. So. Anyway, I got off track as I usually do. And not because I have this ego that I need to tell everybody in the world that I had trauma, blah, blah, blah. And that's not it. I do this to help people. This is part of my self-care routine, doing these videos, whether people watch them or not. It's cathartic. It's healthy. It helps me build some other skills. And I hope if anybody that listens to me, like, my opinion is my opinion, and I don't want you to subscribe to my opinion just because I'm on YouTube. But I hope I give you thoughts and things to think about people in your life or yourself, ways to heal, hence the self-care. I am an energy healer. If you want to book with me, I can work on you remotely. I mean, a lot of people don't necessarily like that because they think you're not really doing anything, you're just taking your money. But I am trained actually in two different ways of doing remote healing, because I started out as a Reiki master, which is, if you know anything about Reiki, there's symbols in Reiki, and there's a remote symbol to send people energy. Now, life force energy healing that I learned from my teacher, you bring the energy. I bring the energy to me. So on my massage table, I pull your energy in. It's weird how it works. It's really cool. I just need to know like what town you're in, what city you're in. And with my intention, I can pull your energy field to me and work on it. And I've done it. I've done it with people in Australia, in England. It was a really cool thing. Because I can test out your chakras and everything with my pendulum or my hand. It's really cool. So it's a real thing. Because we're all energy and it's all about our intentions. So let's work on a guided meditation. Maybe open your heart a little bit. So get comfortable. You could sit in a chair, upright in a chair. You could be in a lounge chair. If you lay down, I'm afraid you're going to fall asleep, unless that's the only way you can, if for some reason you're disabled and that's how you live your life, in a horizontal position. I have met people like that on some of the conference calls my energy healing teacher has. So kind of center yourself. Remember, you're allowing yourself to receive all the fulfillment you're willing to give. And you can close your eyes or lower your gaze, whichever feels most safe to you. Hopefully, if you've been with me before, you cleared your space with the white sheet method. And I'll just go through that real quick. You imagine a white sheet covering the entire floor in the room that you're in. And you just raise it up. In your mind, you just visualize it, and it's taking all the lower vibrational energy with it, or negative energy. And you're just lifting that sheet, allowing it to pass through you. You can allow it to cut cords as it goes through, or you can call on Archangel Michael to do that, or if you have a different way of doing that with your intention or somebody else, just allow it to flow up to the sky, where helpers will take the sheet and transmute that energy. And you can do this as many times as you want until you feel a shift. And you can do it anywhere. You don't have to carry sage. It's nice and clean. Just as your visualization and your intent. So I want you to just scan your body. Notice any tension or stress or pain. You can start down at your toes and work your way up to your head. And when when you get to a spot that seems tense, allow it to dissipate, tell it to go away. You can put your hand there and rub it, like massage the area. And then allow it to release. And move on to the next section of your body and do the same thing. Make sure you're taking good deep breaths. Slowly breathe in the whole way down into your belly and your diaphragm. That will help you release some excess tension and stress, and possibly your pain if you're not breathing deep enough. Shallow breathing is not healthy. Now you can always go back and take more time to do this, but take your hands and rub them together, because your hands are electromagnetic. And then you're going to shake them out. We'll release any stagnant energy. I like to do it again. And place your hand on your heart and the other on your stomach, like your solar plexus area. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. I like to do 3. Now focus in on your heart. Your heart chakra is green, should be green. You may sense it. You can actually lift your hand a little above your heart area. See if you can feel the energy exchange between your hand and your heart. You may feel a swirling energy there. It should be going clockwise. And what we're going to do today is we're going to unwind this chakra. So we're going to go counterclockwise with our hand, just over the area. Because your chakras have 7 to 9 layers. Can't really remember, it doesn't matter. So we're going to unwind it. And we're going to visualize anything that's stuck, any emotional stuckness, anything that shouldn't be in there anymore. We're just going to set the intention that as we unwind our chakra, it's going to release everything that's stuck. Old past hurts and emotions. And you might feel some pressure, you might feel some uncomfortableness. I'm actually feeling a little uncomfortable myself. It's all normal. And then just stop and hold your hand there as the rest of it releases. We're intending it for it all to be released. We don't need it anymore. It's not helping us. Your heart may speed up a little bit while you're doing this. I know mine is. So So I know I'm letting some anxiety go. And now we're going to wind it back clockwise the way it should be. So we're going to wind it back up. And think about giving yourself some unconditional love. And let it flow into your heart. And if you're having a hard time giving it to yourself, think about God giving it to you, Jesus, your child, your pet, your best friend, your mother, grandparents, whoever brings you that unconditional love and joy. Just think about that pouring from their heart to yours. Allow it in. Allow your heart to open, to receive. You give so much, now you need to receive some back. You need to balance these energies out of giving and receiving. That's healthy, that's natural, and that's the way life should be. Give and take. And as your heart chakra opens, it may hurt a little bit. That's okay, it's natural. Especially if you keep it closed a lot. It's not used to being open, so it is going to hurt a little bit when you open it up. If you're having a hard time giving yourself our unconditional love, you can actually let the heaven and earth. You can allow the crystalline energy from heaven and up from the earth's core, Mother Earth. Like those fire hoses attached to your head and your feet, and it's just sending you unconditional crystalline energy. It flows into your heart. And allow it to fill your whole body. This will help you stay grounded and connected. And above, so below. You could get goosebumps while this is happening. My legs are kind of tingling. Unconditional love is one of the highest frequencies you can be at. And when you allow that in, things in your life start to change. Doors start to open. Things you've been wanting to manifest or bring into your life may show up. You can allow all this energy to go into your aura and just keep spreading it into your, you could let it fill your whole room, your whole town. Just bring all this unconditional love in and spread it around. If you're not ready for that, that's okay. You can just stay in your bubble and worry about healing yourself, opening your heart, letting go of the things that weigh you down, that are not needed anymore. You can come back to this meditation as many times as you like. If it helps you open your heart chakra back up. And when you're ready, you can come back into the room. And I just want to remind you that my name is Crystal from the Crystal Center of Healing. I'm here to help you with your self-care, to live a better life, to get yourself balanced, let go of things that don't serve you, heal. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. I should have said that in the beginning, but I forget most of the time because I'm more worried about the healing aspect. And hope this reaches who it needs to reach. If you have any questions or comments, leave them. I will see them and answer them. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can email me at crystal@thecrystalcenterofhealing.com. My website is down now, so just email me. And I hope you reflect on this and think about liberating love the rest of your week. And I hope you have a wonderful week full of lots of shifts and surprises and unconditional love and healing. Until next time, I'll see ya.